In today's video, we are going to design this cinematic landing page using Figma and Higgsfield AI. This is a super simple design, but it can be very effective, so let's get to it. Okay, so first things first, let's jump into Figma and we're going to select our frame tool and we're going to go up here to MacBook Pro 14 and let's just rename this Rift because that's the name of the company that it's a fictional company. The idea of this, let's just actually make this black. We'll have our sort of logo here and we'll have our navigation just beside it. Up here, we will have a button. It's not going to be our primary button. Our primary button is actually going to be down here. Here, we're going to have some just kind of hero text. Over here, I think we can have some text about the company. This is slightly different than your usual sort of layout, but what we want to do is we want to frame it using a really cool background image that we're going to generate using Higgsfield AI. This video is actually sponsored by Higgsfield, but it's a really useful tool that I use all the time, and I wouldn't suggest it to you guys if I didn't think it was really good. Now we'll head over to Higgsfield AI. Now what this is, this just kind of gives you access to multiple different AIs. So, you can see Nana, Banana Pro there, GPT, and they also do video as well, like all the different video modes you'd want, like Google VEO, Sora, Kling, all of that. Now we're actually going to use the Cinema Studio tool because this is going to give us a really cinematic image. So the prompt I'm going to give it is just a cinematic wide shot of a cavernous interior space, atmospheric mist. You guys can kind of make this whatever you want. But what's really cool is you can click here and you can actually select the different cameras. Now these are different cinema cameras. We're going to choose Arri Alexa 35. You can choose the lens, you can choose the focal length and the aperture, and you can really fine tune the sort of cinematic image you can get from a camera like this. So we'll click generate. Now this is the image that it gets us, which is almost what I'm looking for. It is cinematic, it's got the right sort of vibe, but I think we can do better than that. And so we're going to click up here on image. This is the one that we just generated. So I'm going to drag that just down here. And I'm going to give it a prompt to kind of change it up. Kind of see the sort of progression that I've gone through with this image. And basically we've ended up with this image here, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to go down here and right click on download. Now back into Figma, we are going to bring over that image and we're going to paste that right in there. It's going to frame it just nicely because this is kind of our focal point in the middle, but all the text will kind of fit around it. I actually made a couple of minor adjustments to the image as well. I kind of reduced the saturation a little bit and kind of boosted up the highlights, which just kind of pops the window a little bit, the portal. Right, so let's get to this. Let's design a logo. We're going to select the text tool and we're going to call this Rift. And the font we're going to use is Geist, and size, let's go 24. Letter spacing, let's go like -1, and line height, we'll just put all. Let's go down here to our line tool and let's just draw a line that's like 24 pixels. And what we can do is we can go to our draw mode down here and we can select radial. Up here we can kind of dial in some things, so gap, let's just say no gap, but then count, let's increase these a little bit. And we're just going to play around with this until we find something that looks kind of cool. So, maybe we want to have something like this. We can reduce the size of it too. And, let's actually take our frame tool and we'll draw a frame around this that's like 32. We want to just position this in the center of our frame. And our frame, we're going to give a fill color. I think this color here. And then let's just color pick like something in the background for now. We'll take our logo and we'll position that beside it. We'll select both of these and we'll go Shift and A. You know what? We'll actually maybe resize it a little bit. We'll make that like 24 and then we will make sure that our auto layout is positioned in the middle. So there's our logo. We'll just get that positioned up and we'll delete this. Next thing to do, and we should have actually done this before, but we're going to add a grid. So we'll go up here, we'll click on our main frame and we'll go layout guide to columns. We'll go 12 column grid. Margin, we will go 64. Gutter, we will go 16. So 16 pixels in between these spaces, 64 pixels from the side. And basically what this does, it just kind of gives us a bit of a framework to kind of get things positioned nicely. Next thing is our navigation. So let's actually just take our logo text, we'll hold Alt and we'll duplicate that out. And we'll go over here, we'll go maybe 20 pixels. And we'll go, let's just say features, duplicate that, how it works, and then we'll go pricing. Now there's these Figma icons called cool icons, which I really like, and we're going to grab one of these little tiny chevrons, this one here, and we're just going to copy that, and then we're going to head over to features, and we kind of want this to be like a drop down for this section. So we're going to select both of these, and then we'll go Shift and A. and we'll make sure it's centered aligned. 8 pixels is fine. We'll select all 3 of these now, and we'll make that an auto layout. And then let's just put the space in between them, like 32, maybe 40. And you know what, actually, let's make them slightly smaller. We'll go 18, and you know what, let's make them semi-bold as well. So there's our navigation. We'll just get that positioned beside our logo, let's say 64 pixels. All right, looking good. So next section is our kind of H1, and this is going to be right here where we have this box. So let's delete this box. Now our H1 is going to be something like this: AI automation made human. Now this is just text layer, and we've got this 80 pixels in size, line height, 96 pixels, -3 letter spacing. And I've also set it to a blend mode to it, but you know, that's optional. We don't really need that. This text here, made human, let's actually take our color picker and then let's choose what we chose on the logo. We'll take our text here and we'll hold Alt and we'll duplicate this down, and we'll go something like this. So Rift helps people transform everyday workflows and intelligent, intuitive experiences that just make sense. What does it mean? I don't know, it's kind of vague, but a lot of these just kind of concepts are a little bit, it's AI, but it's human. It reads well. Anyways, how does it look on our grid? So if we do Shift and G, we can open our grid, and we want to have this positioned just in these sort of last 4 columns. Now, next thing, we can click on one of our navigation items, and let's duplicate this out. Let's change this to Get App. And we're also going to just drop in this SVG of the Apple logo, and we've got the size at 20 and 24. And we'll select both of these, go Shift Auto Layout. We'll make the gap between them 12. And let's actually give this some padding. So let's go 24 and then let's go 16. And we'll give this a stroke of white. And then corner radius, let's just go like full on that. And we'll get our button positioned over there and make sure it's centered with our other navigation items there. Let's actually reduce the padding a little bit because this is a smaller button. So let's maybe go 8. Nah, 12. We'll do something like that. So that's 16 and 12, and then we'll get this positioned over here. The text itself, let's actually take that down to 16. For the stroke as well, let's actually give that an opacity of 30, and that's just going to kind of take it back on the page a little bit, make it not stand out too much, and it's going to draw more attention to our primary button, which is essentially going to do the same thing, but you don't want to give the user too many options when they visit a page. So we will copy that, drag that down there, but let's give this a fill of white, and then the text and the icon, we can change those to black. Now this is what we kind of want the user's primary call to action to be. So we can actually increase the size of the font as well. So we'll go 20, and we will just have that positioned down at the bottom. You know, we could even take this text here and we could say like get started. It's really just about balance. There's not a lot of stuff going on here, but you don't want it to be too busy. So now you've got the hero section of your website. You can finish designing the rest of your website using the same design language that we established so far. Alternatively, you can head back to Higgsfield AI and turn that hero image into a video, which we're going to do right now. So now we're back in Higgsfield. We're going to click on create video, and we are going to drag in our frame here where it says start frame. And we're also going to give it the end frame of that same photo. And we're just going to give it this prompt here: atmospheric smoke blowing in across the room, no camera movement, no panning. And this is what we got. So bringing it all together, if you wanted to turn it into a fully functioning website with the video and all the assets, you could use something like Framer. I have a whole video about that process that you can check up here. Alternatively, if you just want to show off your designs, then you can use my app called Show Off, and there's a link for that somewhere there. Higgsfield is such a good tool for not only generating assets, but being able to kind of fine tweak them using all the clever tools that they have. So please check out Higgsfield. There's a link for that in the description. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video. If you guys like this sort of video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and I will catch you guys soon with another video. Bye.